So I'm just going to go through some of my trades that were done on Friday. I'm recording this on Sunday, so some of these levels may look a bit messy. However, um, we'll go through and tidy them up. So we had this level here at 258, and as you can see, the market rallied. We flushed that level, and on the way up, we formed this order block. So around just before market opened, I could see this order block came and rejected. We also had this low that got swept. So as soon as this candle closed, I took a position. My stop loss was a close before this level here, about £5 stop loss, not much more than that. And then right before the news came out at 3 o'clock, I could see that we had this big wick, and I waited for one more push and got out. My original target was to take out this high here. So there's liquidity here that got swept. You aim for the next high, a 10-point move, and that was my first trade of the day. The market then formed this high here. I've put it here to go for as many wicks as possible. This can go as well. And what I was waiting to do was I wanted, the news dropped and we had some sharp selling. Now, originally we came down to the order block again and bounced. But again, there wasn't much selling happening. You can see, sorry, wasn't much buying happening. So this wick formed. Now, I wanted to take a position if this ended up becoming a breaker. And it did, right? So I changed the color of this to blue. And that's now a breaker block. However, foolishly, I had the 200-day moving average on my charts. When we got below here, I ended up taking the position as soon as we broke. Then this happened, and automatically my strategy then turned to an EMA strategy. And if this was your EMA strategy, a bounce off the 200, you would have to close if you're in puts. So what I ended up doing was I closed the trade, and that was a red trade. Only the second one, or I think the third, since we started doing this evaluation. But had I had the EMAs off, okay? Had I had the EMAs off, this is a clear bounce off a breaker block. And I could have taken this all the way down to the next order block that was here. There's no order block here. There's no order block here. Both liquidity got swept. I could have even just closed it right here. But this is why you must use a higher time frame. If you look on the higher time frame, which is a 1 hour time frame, okay, you can see that the 1 hour order block is right here, and we bounced exactly off it, which is why trading on your phone is not always the best idea. Had we all had the 1 hour time frame and the 5-minute time frame open, we can clearly see that the order block had held. So that was that. Now, once we started to make higher highs, you can get rid of this line, it's been swept. You can get rid of this line, it's been swept. You can get rid of this line, it's been swept. Okay. Now, once we started making higher highs, I'm then now looking for an order block to form. We've got an order block right here. Okay. You can use this one actually. And that will be grey. And now I'm waiting for an order block to form a fresh one. As you can see, this order block that we bounced off, we've completely covered it. I'm going to leave it there in case it turns into a breaker in today's session. However, as the day progresses, I'm now looking for an order block. And the order block that I found was this one here. Because we got an aggressive move coming out of it. We came down and we rejected it perfectly. I took a position here and I got out of it at 25250. It's a psychological number, plus this order block was there, and I closed it right at the end of the day. And those were my 3 trades for today. But going forward today, we have this order block. We want to make sure that this turns into a breaker and this doesn't hold, or we want to see this turn into a breaker or this turn into a breaker. We've got some levels here. This order block now has been fully used. You can see the market's come down and tested right to the bottom. So we can delete this. But ideally we want this to turn into a breaker or this to turn into a breaker. And then that will be my trade, my first trades for today. Short term wise, we've got this liquidity, this liquidity, this liquidity. Ideally this comes in sweeps, goes back up, and we get a nice 15-point move. In terms of the account, so the account now is at £1,862.50. We've done 15 days of trading. Friday we made £87.50 and we're about £140 away from passing the evaluation account.